Good morning all. Paul from CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Wednesday morning, August 20th. We're looking at Window Traders Market Profile of the ES and the NQ. So ES and NQ both down on the daily. NQ put the weekly back to balance. Again, we won't know how big a balance it'll be until Friday's close. ES, though, so far is still up on the weekly. Their weekly low from last week is 87.50. So right now we're still just under $4 above it. The overnight early, well not early, but overnight is short once again in ES and in NQ. NQ right now is trading below yesterday's low by about 28 points. Righty early, again, they did stretch their balance yesterday. If they make a new low today, no matter how small it would be, I would call the daily down. They had a triple distribution day down yesterday, as did ES, and ES and Righty also had outside days down. And Q ended with a double distribution day down. You have Fed minutes at 2 o'clock. That's the only thing out today. Again, the market always has knee-jerk reactions to whatever number comes out or anything. But even with Powell and Jackson Hole this week, you'll get knee-jerk reactions by the market trying to anticipate with his words if we are going to have a rate cut next month or not. Just keep in mind, the market does what it wants to do. So you might get those knee-jerk reactions, but in the longer term, in the bigger picture, the market will do what it wants to do when it wants to do it. Nothing to do with any of that other garbage. As far as the game plan early today, not much of a reason to defend yesterday's low in ES or NQ. So ES's big hump level would be last week's low as far as for the bulls to defend. As far as the bears, now again, there's 90 minutes to go. But if this is the overnight high, well, bears would want to defend that because it would keep them in the lower distribution from yesterday. Okay? So we'll see what happens there. If they don't defend that, then certainly value high in the second set of singles in ES. In NQ, we'll see if we do get a gap lower. Also, no reason for the bulls to defend that level. So, again, off the bat, I would say it would be the overnight low, which they've come off of pretty good, by the way. We're talking about 80 points, almost $2 off the overnight low. So that's something they would want to defend. For the bears, if they open below value, that's certainly something they want to defend, because if not, the 80-20 play rule would come into effect if they got back into value. If we don't gap lower and we open in value, then again, it would be the overnight high. And again, these are all early pitches prior to the market forming a new picture today when the market begins trading for new MGI. One other note before I get quickly to the chart. There was a lot of absorption being done down here in ES in the 20s. Now, again, you're never going to know if long-term money is really buying it at times in these things. Selling it, you can know because they just smash through everything and the volume's tremendous as the herd mentality kicks in. But it's fun to look at and try to guess what was happening here. Was somebody starting to accumulate a position? They couldn't push the market down much after H, and they kept absorbing stock over here. Now, again, you're never going to know, but it's interesting. What transpired later in the afternoon in the last 2 hours. And then chart-wise, so again, here's the S&P. It's down, outside day down. We ended up doing just over average volume. So they did do decent volume. And Q did 8 million over average. So something to keep an eye on. They closed right, I think, below the 20. ES is right above. Well, actually, they're above the 20 by $3 right now. So we'll see what happens if we go test it. Again, 1 day, 1 week doesn't make a market if we start going back and forth through it. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing to this channel. Good luck trading today, and we'll recap at 4 p.m.